Junior, senior, Munford cooking show, yeah. Spices we're mixing, a chef's life. We are living juniors, young, seniors, older. Our food the soul, yeah, the food is finger licking. So give our show a listen.
Welcome back to another episode of the Junior and Senior Munford Cooking Show. Right then, so what are we cooking this week then, Junior?
Okay, so we're cooking Punjabi samosas, vegetable samosas.
Very nice, very nice. Right, so what we do first then with these samosa things? What happens?
Okay, so we're going to make our pastry. So we're going to use just plain flour, it's a little bit of oil, some cold water, and some nigella seeds we're using. You can use cumin seeds, fennel seeds, anything along that sort of trajectory.
Right, so we'll ignore the dog barking and just carry on, shall we? Like true professionals.
Yeah.
Okay, right, so what goes in there first then, son? So we're making the pastry first.
Okay, so we're going to put the flour, seeds.
Yeah, you have nigella seeds. Ajwan or something they're called, aren't they?
Ajwan, yeah.
Gives it those nice little black speckles to your samosas, doesn't it? And a little bit of a sort of, is it aniseedy? Sort of?
Slightly aniseedy,
Slightly
yeah.
aniseedy
I'm just going to
flavour.
put the whole line there actually.
Chuck them in something.
Yeah.
I think we just weighing them out anyway, so it should be about right, shouldn't it?
Tablespoon of veg oil.
Lovely. So it's a bit different, this sort of pastry, isn't it? It's not a kind of very soft, gooey sort of thing. It's quite a, I would say it's a little bit tricky because it's quite a dry, sort of stiff pastry.
Yep.
Bit of salt. Lovely. 2 teaspoons.
So we're using a half teaspoon here, so I'm using
Oh,
one
we've
of
got-
those and
yeah.
half one.
So we've got a micro teaspoon, yeah, forgot
Yeah.
about that. Right, what's next?
Okay, so and then I'm going to mix all the dry ingredients together so it's nice and
Usual story, isn't it?
spread out, you know,
Lovely.
so you don't get a sort of clump of seeds in one particular area.
Yeah, that salt mixed around in there as well. Beautiful.
I'll set the dog off again.
I know. I think she's banging on the bowl, isn't it, son? That's what it is. You don't like that. It's alright, Deez, don't worry. It's just Miles. You don't believe me. The joys of live professional cooking, eh? Does make life very tricky sometimes, doesn't it? Diesel, we will save you a samosa, okay?
And then could I just ask our technician to pass me a
Tablespoon.
a mixing spoon, please?
Spoon.
Spoon. Mixing spoon. You know, yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Beautiful. So you put a half cup of water in first.
And then a tablespoon at a time, apparently.
Yeah, you've got to go well gentle with the water, haven't you?
So I'm just going to do very small measures using this cup.
Sounds sensible. Now anyone making those cheaters that we did many moons ago, remember it's the same kind of thing, you know, a little bit of water at a time. Once you add too much, then it's disaster, isn't it, really? Then you've got to try and bring it back from the bricks of failure, really. A little bit more water in there, lovely. So when I was reading the recipe, Junior, they were saying about this being quite a dry, stiff dough,
Yeah.
weren't they? Which I imagine makes it a little bit tricky to mess about with.
So I'm imagining you just want it to sort of just about come together, really.
Yeah. A little bit more in there.
I think a little bit more. Yeah.
Was that a little bit too little?
Go on, a little bit more.
Lovely. It's looking bad.
I think that's come together quite
Shall
nicely.
we show that to the camera?
Yeah.
Look at that, look. There you go. So it's just starting to, combine in it, but still a little bit of dryness. Are you sure that's enough? You gonna go with that?
I'm going to go with that.
He's gonna go with that.
I'm going to go with
He's
that.
gonna go with that. So once you've made your dough, what do we do with it?
So
Give it a little knead.
give it a little knead. Yeah, you're kneading it until it's gone quite stiff.
On and off the table, it's a bit wobbly. Let's get a table technician on that. Please, someone?
Yeah, find a sturdy surface to do your kneading on.
Yeah, not a wobbly table if you can help it. Right, so Gina, where are we at with the dough then?
Okay, so we've got the dough. It's stiffened up quite nicely. It took me about 5 minutes of kneading. I'm just going to cover it up now.
Fantastic.
And then we're going to move on to the filling. Okay, so we've got our potatoes. We cut them quite small, so we don't feel that the crumbling is 100% necessary in our case.
Oh, the potatoes, yeah. They do talk about crumbling your potatoes in, but so the potatoes are like parboiled, cooked a little bit. And we've got a little bit of cauliflower down in there as well. Frozen peas, obviously they're frozen, not very good. And a bit of coriander, and ginger and chilli. And that's it now, cumin seeds. I think, is it cumin seeds first?
Chuck them in there.
Do you think? There you go. There you go, son. Gets very nice. So a teaspoon of cumin seeds in there first. I think they're just lightly brown. And then I believe it's your ginger you put it in next.
That's it, about 30 seconds on these cumin.
Roll them straight down, I'll do a bit there, look. Okay. Yeah. Is that the right sort of temperature for you there, sir?
That's perfect. Absolutely optimum. Lovely.
Fantastic. Next, I believe, coriander powder.
No, I think it's actually the coriander leaves.
Oh, sorry,
Yes,
coriander
coriander
leaves.
leaves.
Do apologise, coriander leaves. Pop those in first. Finely chopped. Good example of getting all your stuff ready to go before you actually start cooking it. Right, so coriander leaves are in. So get the turmeric ready, look. Teaspoon of that.
Half teaspoon turmeric. 2 teaspoon coriander powder.
Go and give that a stir, son. It's going to look lovely, that is. Oh, that is a beautiful smell, that is. Gorgeous. Right, what's next? Potatoes? You just try and like coat all your veggies with that beautiful spicy mix. Fantastic. And as your veg is all kind of pretty much cooked already apart from your frozen peas, which as everyone knows only take like a few minutes to cook anyway, don't they? That's looking nice. Looking very nice. Right, peas.
So add the peas in. 2 or 3 minutes on this now.
I'm ready with the cauliflower.
And yeah, I'd chop the cauliflower in as well.
I'm ready. Do you want it in?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Alright, here we go. Cauliflower's in.
We've added cauliflower in here. You could add anything you like, really, carrots. I'd suggest things that aren't kind of too watery, like tomatoes. Avoid them because they're just going to burst when you cook them. Soak your pastry.
True, yeah, you can have a very soggy samosa.
Yeah, unless you're into soggy samosas, then you know.
I don't know anyone actually who's into soggy samosa. Right, so we've got our filling done. Junior over here, you've cut up your dough into 7 little sections.
7 sections, yeah.
7 little sections. We found that quite hard, didn't we? Actually.
Yeah,
So
it's quite hard.
We actually did 8, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. 7 or 8 is fine, isn't it? So now, Junior is going to demonstrate how you make your little parcels into lovely little wrappers for your filling to make your samosas.
So I'm starting by making it into a sort of ball shape. little ball of dough. I'm going to gently flour it.
Rather than violently flouring it, because it's never the same, is it?
And then roll it out into a semicircle, going for about 6 inches long.
So you sort of roll it into an oval first, don't you? Like a sort of an elongated circle.
That's it. And then you want 4 inches width.
And how long, mate?
About 6 inches.
6 inches long.
I know this, I've got a measurement here. Luckily my hand is about the same size, right? Your hand probably won't be. Find something else.
That's the thing, isn't it, viewers? Is that not everyone is going to have the same size hands as Junior here.
No.
If you do, you're in luck. Makes this a whole lot easier.
Find an adult's hands, or just find an object.
Or a ruler. You could just use a ruler.
Or a tape measure.
Yeah, get an assistant.
Whatever.
Yeah. You could make a little template out of paper.
There's probably an app for it.
The right size.
There's probably an app for it by now.
I think we've probably gone a bit too far, haven't we?
Yeah. Cut.
So, cut in half. Beautiful.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to put one to the side, one over here. So I'm taking a bit of water here on the tips of my fingers, and just painting the edges. Don't overdo it, or again, soggy samosa.
That's your glue, isn't it, really?
Essentially, yeah. That just mixes with the flour, makes a nice glue. And then you're rolling it into a cone. So you're going to take both edges, bring them together so they overlap slightly. Might be hard to see here, but I'm sure you'll work it out. You're aiming for a sort of cone shape here, and you're just pinching those edges together. Make sure you get a really nice seal here, or your samosa will leak out and open up when you fry it. Pinch the bottom.
Just hold it down a bit there so the camera can see. Look at that beautiful little pocket. Isn't it? That's fantastic, isn't it?
Okay.
So how much mixture goes in these then, son?
So it says 3 teaspoons. I found a tablespoon also works quite nicely. A nice full tablespoon.
Beautiful.
And you're just poking that in there nice and gently again. Okay. And then you're gonna wet the top.
Bit more glue again.
Bit more glue. And you're just gonna fold it over and pinch those edges again. Again,
very important, isn't it? Pinching those edges.
Yeah. Again, just being really gentle, making it look as pretty as you can get away with, though it is quite a natural form.
Samosas come in all different shapes and sizes, don't
They
they?
do, and it's, as the saying goes, it's what's inside.
Absolutely, it's a beautiful little parcel.
Exactly.
Right, Junior. So we've got 3 samosas already made here. Obviously, make them all in one hit, but we've got 3 ready here because they recommend, don't they, in a sort of wok this sort of size, cook 3 at a time. Right, Junior.
Just so you don't overcrowd the pan and you don't sort of lose any temperature.
Because as soon as you start putting those in there, the temperature of the oil drops and it needs to be hot. One last safety announcement. So we've got a fire blanket.
That's a fire blanket.
Because this is very hot oil. And what is that?
That's a fire blanket.
That is a fire blanket, very hot oil. So we have to be very careful.
We're not going to demonstrate how to use it, but an adult should be able to show you. All the instructions will be on there if you should have to use
one of those, tea towel, towel. But what's very important about a tea towel, Junior?
Never use a wet tea towel, okay? Never use a wet tea towel because it will explode. The oil will explode water out violently everywhere and it'll be extremely dangerous.
So don't do that, right? No wet tea towels. Right, let's get going then, shall we? So you can see Junior's just dropping that delicately into the pan, using the slide spoon. Don't use your fingers, because you might get burnt. And they're just like nice, gently frying away in there. You don't want to cook too quick, because you need that pastry to actually cook. Nothing like a raw samosa, is it? Very unpleasant.
And so I also, when I was dropping them in there, I was checking as I lifted them off the plate just to make sure they're all perfectly sealed.
And now the cooking process should help that seal really kind of bind together now,
Exactly.
but you've got to have a good seal to start with. So, you know, that looks nice. How long do we cook those for?
I'd say probably, off the top of my head, about 3 to 4 minutes aside, but you're looking for a sort of golden brown colour. You don't want any paleness on your samosa.
So depending on the size of your samosa, they're a bit bigger, might take a little bit longer.
Yep.
But you run about three minutes per side.
That's it.
And then give them a little turnover. Quite a lot of oil in there, but you can obviously reuse that oil. Don't put it in a plastic jug, some sort of like glass jug or something.
Yeah.
Suitable container, and you can reuse that oil several times.
And make sure as well that you sieve it when you put it in the jug, and then you've got clean oil again.
Yeah, you don't want those nasty little black bits, do you?
No.
That wouldn't be good at all. Well, I can see those just starting to turn a nice little golden brown already. That's pretty quick, isn't it? And they're bubbling as well. I always like to see a bubbly samosa. Oh yeah, that's beautiful, Julian. That actually looks like a samosa, doesn't it?
Legit.
I mean, it should look like a samosa, but it's always a nice, reassuring sight when you see a samosa bubbling away. But yeah, look at that, beautiful little bubbles. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see that.
It's lovely, isn't it? Fantastic.
I did want to add as well, this is a nice authentic recipe. They are genuine Punjabi samosas.
Okay, right, here we are. So we've got our samosas. How long did they take, you think?
About 3-4 minutes, maybe 5.
4 minutes aside. And, they look excellent, don't they? Very pleased with those. Nice and crispy.
Nice golden
Bubbly.
brown. Bubbles.
Bubbles in your samosa dough. Always a good thing. We've got a little bit of lime pickle, a bit of mango chutney, a little bit of lemon. Might squeeze that on this one here. Yeah. Now, these haven't long come out of the pan. So,
Eat at your own peril.
this might be a little bit painful, but, things we do for the show, mate. He's going straight in, look.
It's hot.
Oh, it's very nice.
Quite flavoursome. Pastry's nice.
Nice and crispy.
Crispy throughout.
I'll spill it on the floor for you look again. Very nice. Yeah, well, there you go. So that's
It's a
just
success.
done.
On a board.
Yeah, looking rather lovely. I can't wait to finish that in a minute, to be honest. Right, well, another successful episode of the Junior
and Senior Munford Cooking Show.
Junior, senior, Munford cooking show, yeah, spices we're mixing, a chef's life, we are living juniors, young, seniors, older, our food, the soul, yeah, the food is finger licking, so give our show a listen.